Hello Sagittarius, my name is Keith Haswell and I'm a professional astrologer with 40 years experience, 30,000 clients worldwide and 150 YouTube videos up there on all aspects of personal and spiritual growth. It's my pleasure, Sagittarius, to welcome you to this analysis of your horoscope and the cycles that you'll be experiencing in 2015. First of all, I'll do a little bit of a personality analysis for you because that's always a lot of fun to tell you a few things about the energies that are coursing through you. You're very frank, straightforward and to the point, Sagittarius. You call a spade, and very independent, very goal-oriented. You do need to have a progressive goal to work towards in life. Very interested in sports, and you do a lot of travelling probably, especially if you get the opportunity to. You try to look after your money, Sagittarius, but you have a lot of frustrations with money, and it's as if the law of economy is down upon you all the time squeezing you to make sure that you handle your finances wisely and economically and with wisdom and so forth. Your ideas don't fit in with the mainstream of thinking, and you enjoy that. You enjoy being different and having ideas that are way out and different. You're strongly attracted towards things like astrology, meditation, reincarnation and stuff like that. You drive an unusual vehicle, probably not the same as what everybody else goes for. You have a strange relationship with relatives. Perhaps they're estranged or they're adopted relatives or something like that. Now you seem to live near the water at some time in your life, and you seem to be strongly attracted towards the spiritual side of life in the later part of your life. You like peace and harmony around the place, and in the home you like to have plenty of solitude as well. You enjoy solitude and you enjoy music. If you can't live near the water, you'll probably have a fish tank in the home or something like that. Now, you've been a bit impulsive early in life. You jumped into quite a few hasty relationships based on physical attraction, and you get your fingers burned a few times in relationships. You're a person who's very interested in sports, but very dominant in the social side of your life. So you like to be the centre of attention in parties and social functions and that sort of thing. You handle money, finances or accounts in your job, and you don't like many changes in your job. You like to have stability in your job. You do have more than one marriage, more than one close relationship, and you have a distinct sense of duality when it comes to relationships. You could even have a secret relationship going on the side. Well, that's just a few things about yourself there, Sagittarius, to start the day off together here. And what we're going to do now is to look at the movements of the planets through the houses of your horoscope. There's two ways that I can be of service to you, Sagittarius, with astrological knowledge. There's transits and there's progressions. Now, transits are the actual movements of the planets as they go through the zodiac. They move through the houses of your horoscope and they activate certain things in your houses that are different from Capricorn and Aquarius and Pisces and so forth. So they're individual for you in that respect as far as your sun sign is concerned, or your rising sign if it's a Sagittarius rising sign. But the ones that are most powerful are the progressions. The progressions are a symbolic movement of planets, and it's one day's movement is equal to a year by progression. So if we want to have a look what's happening in your life at the age of 35, we only have to look at where the planets were 35 days after your birth. If we want to look at what's happening at the age of 50, we have to look at the location of the planets on the 50th day after your birth. So in other words, these progressions are really some of the major events of your life, such as changes of residence, formation of relationships, changes in your job, breakup in relationships, marriage, birth of children, journeys overseas, deaths of those around you, career and business changes, formation of friendships, bouts in hospital and so forth. So these are major events in your life that you've planned out prior to coming into this life that are what you might call part of your soul plan, SOUL, and part of your karma and your destiny. Now, without your birth details, Sagittarius, I can't do that for you, okay? So the best that I can do for you here on this particular reading is to look at the transits of the planets. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the movements of the Sun, Venus and Mars as they go through the houses of your horoscope. They introduce quite a lot of interesting scenarios and interesting events and conditions in your life. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on a timeline for you throughout the year, starting from the end of February, which is the time that I'm making this particular video. And we're going to put it on a timeline so that I'll tell you what's going on and when there's a change in any of these locations of these planets and what type of events that change will bring about and so forth. So then those changes will remain as I've stated until such time as they move into a different segment of your horoscope, and I'll tell you when that happens and so forth. So it's all on a timeline, okay? Then at the end of it all, I'm going to look at the movements of Jupiter and Saturn. Jupiter and Saturn are quite slow moving. Jupiter only goes through 2 houses of your horoscope in 2015, whereas Saturn only goes through the same house, the one house, during 2015. It's a different house for you with Saturn than what it is for the other signs, so you'll still feel the impact and the influence. So just sit back and relax now, Sagittarius, and we'll have some fun together, eh? Now the first change that we come to is on the 20th of February. The Sun moves into the 4th house of your horoscope. That sees a focus of your personality upon family matters and domestic matters. On the 22nd of February, Mars moves into the 5th house of your horoscope. That brings impulsiveness in regard to social and romantic matters, so you can jump into a hasty relationship. You can have conflicts whilst out on social functions, but you'll be interested in sporting activities and things like that. With Mars in the 5th house of your horoscope, there can be a bit of tension focusing through children, or you might be just involved with their sporting interest and things like that. Now on the 22nd of February, Venus moves into the 5th house of your horoscope, and that's a beautiful thing because Venus in the 5th house will make you much more sociable, and you'll be wanting to get out and mix with people and form relationships and so forth. So if you're in the market for a romantic attachment, it's a good time to start one from that time onwards. Now on the 18th of March, Venus moves into the 6th house of your horoscope, and that is a beautiful cycle for you for a period of a week or two to do with the job. So matters relating to the job, a lot of pleasant social activities connected with the job when Venus is there. Also, it's a good time for job interviews if you want to make a change in your job, Sagittarius. Then on the 21st of March, the Sun moves into the 5th house of your horoscope. The whole of your personality focus then for the next month is upon the 5th house matters relating to love, social activities, romance, children, and just having fun. Now then we go to the 1st of April. The 1st of April, April Fool's Day, Mars moves into the 6th house of your horoscope, introducing a lot of extra energy into the work environment, so you can have conflicts with people that you work with, so just try and keep things rather cool. And there can be a little bit of ill health for you if you overdo it. In any way, shape or form, especially with too much spicy food. And then on the 12th of April, Venus moves into the 7th house of your horoscope. Now, if you're in a relationship, that'll be a lovely time for social activities with your spouse or partner. It's a good time for getting out and mixing with the general public in parades and shopping centres and things like that. And on the 21st of April, the Sun moves into the 6th house of your horoscope. That sees a whole focus of your personality upon health and dietary matters, also matters relating to the job. So it's a good time for job interviews, to focus upon your job, social activities with people that you work with and so forth. Then on the 8th of May, Sagittarius, Venus moves into the 8th house of your horoscope. With Venus in the 8th house of your horoscope, it's a boost financially for you and your partner if you have one. It'll heighten your sex drive, especially if you're female. And with Venus in the 8th house, it gives you a love of the mysteries of life, so you can get yourself embroiled in some sort of a mysterious relationship of some sort. On the 12th of May, Mars moves into the 7th house of your horoscope, Sagittarius. And with Mars in the 7th house of your horoscope, your partner is going to be perhaps a little bit dominant and assertive for the next 2 or 3 weeks. So with Mars in the 7th house, you can have a little bit of back and kidney trouble as well, and bladder trouble. And there can be stresses and tensions there in dealings with the general public. On the 22nd of May, Sagittarius, the Sun moves into the 7th house of your horoscope, throwing your whole personality focus upon your relationship with your spouse or partner and the formation of relationships if you don't have one going. Now on the 6th of June, Sagittarius, Venus moves into the 9th house of your horoscope, and that sees a lot of pleasant social activities for the next 2 or 3 weeks connected with people from overseas. It's a good time for you to travel if you wanted to do any travelling. It's a good time for you to do with social activities with in-laws if they play a prominent part in your life. The 22nd of June, Sagittarius, sees the Sun move into the 8th house of your horoscope for 30 days. With the Sun in the 8th house of your horoscope, you'll be very deeply introspective, desiring to bring about changes within yourself through that introspection and reflection, and you'll be attracted towards the mysteries of life. There will be a heightening of your sex drive if you're male in particular. Now 25th of June, Mars moves into the 8th house also. That stimulates your sex drive whether you're male or female, and it does bring a lot of potential for impulsiveness on your partner's side with money. So they might be wanting to spend money and you want to hold back type of thing, so there can be conflicts arise there to do with finances. On the 20th of July, Sagittarius, you've got Venus moves into the 10th house of your horoscope. That's a beautiful cycle for you for 2 or 3 weeks, focusing through career and business. So if you're in business, it'll bring a boost in business. It's very good for you for job interviews if you're trying to promote yourself in your career or anything like that. It's very favourable for you socially through parents, and a happy time for you in dealing with government departments if you wanted to have something done by them. Now the 23rd of July sees the Sun move into the 9th house of your horoscope. With the Sun in the 9th house of your horoscope for 30 days, there can be a journey, a lot of social activities with in-laws, and a focus upon philosophy and spiritual expansion of your understanding and stuff like that. Then we go to the 26th of July, Venus turns retrograde. Now when Venus is retrograde, when any planet is retrograde, it impacts upon other houses than the one that it's sitting in. It impacts upon the houses that it rules. And Venus rules the 6th house and the 11th house detrimentally. So therefore, when Venus goes retrograde on the 26th of July, Sagittarius, it's going to impact negatively upon social involvements with people that you work with, and also it's not good for job interviews, and also to do with friends and group activities and other people's children. So there can be some disappointments socially focusing through friends and other people's children. Now on the 1st of August, Venus moves into the 9th house of your horoscope, seeing a lot of pleasant social activities focusing through relatives on your husband's side or your wife's side. Now then the 9th of August sees Mars move into the 9th house of your horoscope. With Mars in the 9th house of your horoscope, it's easy to strike up an argument over philosophy, differences of opinion on religion and things like that. So just try and keep things cool, and if you happen to be travelling, be very careful of too much spicy food, because you can end up having problems with your diet there. Now on the 24th of August, the Sun moves into the 10th house of your horoscope, Sagittarius, for 30 days. With the Sun in the 10th house of your horoscope, your whole personality focuses upon your career and your ambitions, high achievements, social activities with people that you're in business with or in the career with. Also, parents come into your life on a more social level if they play a prominent part in your life. Now on the 8th of September, Venus goes direct again. So that means that the 6th house and the 11th house matters that I mentioned before that were a bit detrimental because if it was retrograde, everything will go smoothly from there on in that regard, okay? With Venus going direct in the 9th house of your horoscope too, it's going to be a good time for travel and a lot of social activities with people from overseas, and a lot of social activities with in-laws if they play a prominent part in your life. Then on the 24th of September, Sagittarius, you've got the Sun moves into the 11th house of your horoscope for 30 days. With the Sun in the 11th house of your horoscope, your whole personality focus is upon friends, group activities, other people's children, club activities and things like that. The next one is on the 26th of September, Sagittarius. Mars moves into the 10th house of your horoscope. Now that can bring conflicts with government departments, conflicts with parents, and you've got a lot of extra energy there to apply to business and career objectives, but you just got to be careful that you don't overdo it, okay? Then on the 9th of October, Venus moves into the 10th house of your horoscope, introducing a much more beautiful influence into the career and the business, so it's a good time for job interviews for 2 or 3 weeks. It's favourable for you to do with parents and social activities with them. It's a beneficial time for you generally to do with business expansion and career expansion, okay? The next one, Sagittarius, is on the 24th of October. The Sun moves into the 12th house of your horoscope. With the Sun in the 12th house of your horoscope for 30 days, you'll be desirous of solitude, introspection and reflection, and transformation and change within yourself through that introspection and reflection and through the magic and the wonder of solitude. But that's on the positive side, Sagittarius. It's easy for you with the Sun in the 12th house of your horoscope for 30 days to be your own worst enemy through secret activities, self-undoing, self-sabotage and stuff like that. Now then on the 9th of November, Venus moves into the 11th house of your horoscope and commences a 2 or 3 week period of a beautiful lot of fun through friends. Group activities go well, club activities, social activities revolving around other people's children, and it's a very happy time for you for formation of friendships and club activities and things like that. Then on the 13th of November, Mars moves into the 11th house. Mars in the 11th house is going to introduce a lot of extra energy into the area of friendships and group activities, probably interested in sports and aggressive sort of social interests and that type of thing, but it can introduce stress and tensions with friends as well, so just be careful not to be dominant with your friends and don't let them be dominant with you either. On the 23rd of November, Sagittarius, the Sun moves into the 1st house of your horoscope. Now the 1st house is the house of commencing and starting new projects and ideas that begin and commence from your own creativity and your own initiative. So with the Sun being there in the 1st house of your horoscope for a month from the 23rd of November, you've got very good stars for commencing and starting new projects. You'll have a sunny disposition during that time and you'll really feel like having a lot of fun on the social side of your life. The 6th of December sees Venus moves into the 12th house of your horoscope. Now it's potential there for a secret romantic involvement with Venus in the 12th house of your horoscope. But on the positive side, Sagittarius, with Venus in the 12th house, it's a great deal of opportunity for you to get the benefit from solitude and from sidling up to the divine, what you might say, and curling up with a good book on spiritual truths and things like that. Now then we go to the 23rd of December, a couple of days before Christmas, Sagittarius, and the Sun moves into the 2nd house of finances. Well, you wouldn't want to know it. That's when a lot of money's going out. So with the Sun in the 2nd house of finances for the next 30 days, that's when you'll probably be spending quite a lot. And there's a focus upon financial matters with your personality, trying to balance the budget and things like that. Then the last day of the year, 30th of December, almost the last day of the year, Venus moves into the 1st house of your horoscope. Now that begins a 2 or 3 week cycle of really beautiful social activities. You'll be very outgoing in your affections. You'll have a great deal of love for music and artistic things. And if you're in the market, Sagittarius, for a romance, then that's the time when you can get out and mix and circulate, and someone can come into your life that's going to be very beneficial to you in the long term as far as relationships are concerned. Now I'm going to look at the movements of Jupiter and Saturn for you. We'll start off with Jupiter for you, Sagittarius. Jupiter happens to be your ruler, by the way, so it'll have extra impact in your life. Jupiter starts the year off in a retrograde motion, and when a planet is retrograde, it does impact upon the houses that Jupiter rules. And Jupiter happens to rule your first house of personal self-initiated efforts, and also the fourth house of the domestic and the family side of life. So therefore it impacts negatively upon your personal interest and initiatives for a little while, for a couple of months actually, and it impacts negatively also upon the domestic and family side of life. So just be careful of your judgment. With Jupiter retrograde ruling your first house, you can have bad judgment with commencing and starting new projects and ideas, Sagittarius, and be careful not to invest in property or change residence when the ruler of your fourth house is in a retrograde motion, okay? There can be bad decisions or bad judgment to do with decisions focusing through family and domestic matters, so just be on guard there. To be forewarned is to be forearmed. Now Jupiter starts going direct on the 9th of April, and that's when it really starts to impact heavily for you upon what the house that it's sitting in. And it happens to be sitting in your 9th house, which is the house of expansion, growth and experience and travel. It's a beautiful time for you then for a couple of months, 3 or 4 months, for you to be able to travel. It's a very good time for you for expanding your understanding along spiritual lines and philosophical lines, and it's a tremendous time for you for happiness socially through in-laws if they happen to be playing a prominent part in your life. Then on the 12th of August, Jupiter moves into the 10th house of your horoscope, which is the house of business and career. And for the balance of the year, it remains in the 10th house of your horoscope. So that brings growth and expansion in business, if you're in business, growth and expansion in your career, so you can seek a promotion with facility. And it's a very, very good time for you for dealing with parents. You could end up traveling to visit a parent, or a parent could travel to visit you, or you could end up going overseas with a parent. So there's a lot of happiness there, and it's a very good time for you for expanding your career and expanding in business. Then we go to Saturn for you, Sagittarius. Now Saturn is in the first house of your horoscope for the whole of the year, okay? Now Saturn being in the first house of your horoscope doesn't have to be a detrimental impact. What Saturn is basically saying to you is that it rules the law of economy. And the law of economy states that all energy that is used and that all time, energy and money must be used wisely and economically and in accordance with the law of economy. So what Saturn is saying to you there in your first house of your horoscope, Sagittarius, is it's saying that if you're going to commence and start new projects and ideas that originate from your own creativity, plan it out carefully. Make sure that you are doing the right thing as far as putting in a step-by-step plan and thinking it all carefully through and putting it into action there with practical steps on a week-by-week basis and so forth, and you'll get by. Now then Saturn goes retrograde though in March to August. So between March and August Saturn is retrograde, and that means that it's impacting negatively upon your finances and also to do with dealings with relatives. So don't enter into contracts or agreements. Don't purchase a new motor vehicle when Saturn ruling the third house is in retrograde motion between March and August. And be careful with your judgment to do with money matters, because you'll probably experience a few frustrations with money with Saturn ruling the second house of finances and going in a retrograde motion. And that's as far as I go for you, Sagittarius. Now look, I'm happy to do your progressions. The progressions are part of your destiny. They determine when you're going to have changes in your job, changes in your residence, journeys overseas, formation of relationships, breakup of relationships, and birth of children and so forth. These are major events in your life, and I'm prepared to do them for you free of charge, okay? So go to my website. You can always find the website address there in the description of my of this particular video that you're looking at. and you can find my website address. Go to my website and submit your birth details, and free of charge I'll look at the major impacts that you've got from your progressions over the next 30 months. So it's nice to have this opportunity, Sagittarius. Subscribe to my videos too, because I'm pumping out new videos all the time. Subscribe to my videos and let's have some fun together, and help you to become more of the giant that you truly are. So I thank you for your attentiveness here and wish you well throughout 2015. Thank you.